Hey, Boley. 1 second, please. Hey everybody, it's Jack from Atlantis Water Gardens. We're back here in Maplewood, New Jersey for part 2 of this off-the-wall Fountainscape pondless waterfall. Literally off the wall. If you haven't seen part 1, click the link right here and catch up. We've actually installed these walls on top of our concrete base. The reservoir's in place. Now we're up to the point where we're fabricating all of our square patio bowls where we need to be for our spillways. I actually have a sketch for this one. I've been thinking about a project like this for quite some time. I like the formal incorporated with the more natural. So this whole section here up against the stairs is all gonna be formal, and that's where our walls come in. Right now, we've got these walls installed already. There's gonna be another lower section coming off here. This is all just planted. We're gonna have bubbling water coming out of these sections in between the bowls. And then if you can look here, the bowls themselves will be spilling water into each other and then outside towards the pooling area. And that's the point where we're at right now. We actually have to cut the top of these walls. So there's a locking in ridge for the next section of the wall here. I've got to go ahead and cut that out like I've done here with this one already, so that our patio bowl can sit flush on top of the wall. Then comes the hard part. We've got to take the next section and actually match the contour the outside of this bowl so we can slide it right in, and that's where we're going to have a planting area on this side, bubbling all throughout here. That's going to be an awesome look with the water raining down the walls with those clean ribbons of water out in front of it. So this will have two, one towards the front, one towards the inside. That'll have a wider one just towards the inside, and then we're going to mirror this on the left side, same as what we're doing over here. The tough part here is once these are all cut in place, we actually have to plumb all this stuff. So there is a lot of plumbing that's going to be going behind the wall, inside the wall, up through the bowls, and then finally down to where our reservoir is at the bottom, which is where our pumps will be feeding all this. I'm super excited about this one because, as I mentioned, I've been thinking about something like this for quite a while. The fact that I can actually come to fruition in somebody's yard is awesome. We're gonna get busy on cutting all this stuff in, filling in the gravel with the rest of our walls to get that ballast for stability. Then comes the fun stuff, the plumbing, followed by all the rock work that has to go around this to make this convert from that formal look into our more natural style of building, which is like the streams and waterfalls. We're starting off day 4 here on this project. It's time to get busy. It's the end of day 4, and I am super excited with the way this is turning out. We're starting to add some plants now. We put in our last sections of the wall. We did a lower section here with just a small base and then a topper. And now up top, we put this myrtle. That's gonna just grow right over this. And then behind it, we're backing it up with these liriope. What I wanted to do was leave the wall up higher so you still see that definition of that hard line coming off the wall. But in reality, most of that plant work is going to hide this wall, which is going to be really cool because it's going to be elevated above these liriope. It's going to be such a sweet look right there. And then the way these are all tying in, this just looks fantastic. Anthony is just about finishing up our plumbing inside here, which has been a real pain, right, Ant?
Hey man, I gotta focus here.
A few moments later.
Tonight I'm gonna finish up the plumbing, tidy up some things, and then tomorrow we're gonna be setting some rocks.
Hey, you guys are still here. It's day 5. Our wall section will be 100% complete today. Now we can actually move on to building the more natural stream waterfall section. We're gonna carve this out to give it some nice undulating shape all the way out to here before it starts to drop off towards our reservoir. A lot of the sight lines we have to consider are the house. So up top is Brian's office. They've got a bedroom, which is right there. And then the main viewing area is the kitchen right off of this big set of stairs and patio. I've been all the way up there and I can see probably from there this way. So when we're building the stream, I want to make sure that as he's looking out the window up in his office, he can see that waterfall going away, and then we're going to have it turn and kind of come back. And I want to see the waterfalls kind of coming back this way. The other vantage point we do have to be concerned with is over here. There's going to be a patio over in this space, and right about where the rock pile is the outside of the patio. Now that means our sight line is right along this wall, so I want to bring these waterfalls far enough out so we can see it from there as well. The soil here is hardly soil. It's a lot of rocks, a lot of sharp rocks. So what we're doing is we're over excavating, and then we're putting a layer of our stone dust down or sand. That's going to give us a cushion before our fabric goes in, so we're doubling up on that. Then we've got our liner, and then there's another layer of fabric on top. We want to do a really good job. If you're doing a project where the soil's not good, you've got to protect your liner, and that's how we're doing that here. And as we're digging this, we want to make sure we keep our elevations right. I want to make sure that there's pooling water up in here higher than what that concrete base is. We're going to have gravel on top. I want to have standing water above that. So that means all the way out here where my waterfall is going to drop off is how we set our water level. This elevation has to be higher than what we need it to be over there. So we're using our laser, we're shooting that, make sure we get it on grade, and then when we build our weir that's going to hold back the waterfall, we'll do our final elevations that's going to set our water level just where we want it. The other thing you got to consider too is while you're doing that, you can't get tunnel vision. There's a whole patio space we have to be concerned with. We can't build it up so high that it's higher than our ground. So you want to factor in all those calculations when you're setting your water level to make sure you get the desired effect.
Why are you so close? I've done all the calculations. It's time to start digging.
Thumbs up.
Alright, AWG Rockstars, let's find out how well you've been paying attention and how great your memory is. Earlier in the video, an object was highlighted. What was the object? Drop your answers in the comments below.
The day after a rain event, there's always a bit of cleanup to do before we can actually start working again. But we were able to tarp off majority of our work site, so it's not too bad. Our spoils pile is nice and dry. So we're just gonna get the backside of this reservoir cleaned off, open this all up, and we're gonna start by laying our rock work inside here. We got to be able to work off these steps with our rock work to kind of tie all our boulders in, and then we got to come around this way to start framing out for that lower section of the waterfall. Now this is kind of like in reverse how we normally do it. We would just start from the bottom and build all the way up, but being that our access is tight over here, we've got to kind of work the top and bottom together once we reach this point, being careful not to cut ourselves off in any sections so that we can make sure we get this guy back in there. I want to show you guys how we're making this reservoir disappear. You're looking at a 12 by 14 foot reservoir right here, and it's starting to go away. We've set all of our base rocks that are going to be ending with our waterfalls coming in right here into the reservoir. We might bib this just so that water pools up a little bit before it disappears. Behind it, we're starting to set all of our rocks that are layering back. In order to get our elevation, we are using clean stone. Now on top of the reservoir, we put this piece of fabric that's going to keep any of this stone from getting down into those aqua blocks. This is a 3/4 inch clean stone. So this is a road stone, something you would find at a quarry or at a stone yard. It's an angular stone. It locks in real nice, and we go up against the back of the boulders. Now we can just set another boulder behind it. So if I wanted that boulder to be 3 inches lower, I can just simply take some of that gravel out, set it down a little bit higher, the reverse. Once we get all that set and we make our waterfalls back in here, we can join up with the stream that's coming off of the Fountainscape. Now, you're probably wondering how we're gonna make the water go where we want it. We're gonna finish setting these boulders inside here, creating all those areas where the cascades will be coming, as well as some planting pockets. Same principle with the planting pocket. I'll have the stone in there. I could put a layer of fabric on top, and then I could put as much soil as I feel like putting in there, whether it's a couple inches or up to a foot. I can bring all these areas in with all those gaps with soil, plant it up, and really just kind of bring the whole thing in, let the landscape come into the water feature, and that's where you get that really natural look. Let's keep setting some rocks and build ourselves some waterfalls. Both of our 3-inch lines are now in up to where our manifolds are. Anthony built these manifolds this morning.
I know you guys love to hear about how we do our plumbing, so here we go. So this top manifold here, this one actually goes to the 3 bowls. The furthest one here controls the farthest bowl, the middle bowl, and then the closest one. And this is just our dump line for any excess water we have coming through any of these bowls, so that way none of them are being overpowered, and anything that's left over is just gonna feed this stream here. And then the one on the bottom is actually feeding all of the walls. So this 3-inch line goes into the series of T's in there and reducers, and that feeds those jets all up. Are they jets?
It feeds the standpipes.
Standpipes?
Yeah.
You're a standpipe. So that 3-inch line feeds all those standpipes in there and goes through all those T's and reducers. And then same deal here, this 2-inch just leads into another dump line into the stream to give it more flow.
And now that you guys have a picture of how our plumbing works, you're gonna have to come back for the next video. We are going to finish this. We're gonna get the rest of this waterfall built, create all the planting areas, get the pumps hooked up, plug it in, and show you what we came up with. Hit that subscribe button, come on back. We're here every week building beautiful water features, showing you how we do it. See you on the next one.